You know the feeling, right? You sit down to study, open your laptop, and the next thing you know, an hour has just vanished into a social media black hole. We've all been there. But what if we could flip that script? What if the very devices that distract us could become our most powerful allies in learning? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to build your ultimate digital study toolkit.
So, yeah, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Every notification, every ping, every endless scroll is fighting for a piece of your attention. How on earth do you cut through all that noise and actually use this amazing technology to get smarter? Let's figure it out.
All right, let's dive right in. And we're going to start with the tools you're already using probably every single day. We're talking about taking your social media feed from a time waster to a personalized, powerful study guide.
So why even start with social media? Well, because it's already there, right in your pocket. You have instant access to a completely massive universe of information, and it comes in every format you can imagine: videos, text, images. Plus, you can actually jump into discussions with experts and other people who are just as curious as you are.
Okay, so how do we actually use these platforms effectively? Let's break it down. YouTube is basically your visual encyclopedia. It's got everything from quantum physics explainers to deep dive art history lectures. A huge pro tip here, use playlists to keep your topics organized, and don't be afraid to adjust that playback speed. Then you have Reddit. This is where you find those super niche communities like r/AskScience, where you can get answers from actual experts. And Instagram. Believe it or not, it can be a secret weapon for quick visual learning. Save those useful infographics and short explainer videos into collections, and boom, you've got a visual study library on your phone.
All right, you've got a handle on the everyday apps. Now, it's time to level up. When you're working on a big paper or a serious project, a regular internet search just isn't going to cut it. You need credible, solid sources. It's time for the academic power-ups.
Your first stop for any serious research should pretty much always be Google Scholar. It's like Google's super smart older sibling that only deals in academic articles, theses, and scholarly books. It cuts right through the noise and takes you straight to credible sources. And the best part? It's totally free.
So you found the perfect paper on Google Scholar. Now what? How do you get your hands on it? Well, here are two fantastic options. Think of academia.edu as a massive digital library where researchers share their work, often for free. ResearchGate, on the other hand, is more like a professional social network for scientists and academics. You can actually connect with the authors of the papers you're reading and ask them questions directly. How cool is that?
Now, as you start doing your own research and writing your own papers, you need a way to make sure you get credit for your work. That's where ORCID comes in. It gives you a unique digital ID that ties all of your academic contributions directly to you. It's kind of like a permanent digital signature for your entire academic career, and it's absolutely essential. You know, learning is rarely a solo mission. Collaboration is absolutely key. And these days, the good old-fashioned study group has gone digital. So let's talk about how to master the virtual study room and make those online meetings genuinely productive.
It really is all about using the right tool for the job. If you're in a big online class and need to split off into smaller groups, Zoom's breakout rooms are an absolute lifesaver. For those bigger, long-term group projects, Microsoft Teams is a powerhouse. It keeps your chat, files, and video calls all in one organized place. And for those quick, informal study sessions with friends, Jitsi Meet is perfect. It's free, it's secure, and you don't even need to make an account. Just send a link and you're ready to go.
And now for what is truly a game changer. This isn't science fiction anymore, folks. We're talking about artificial intelligence and how you can use it as your own personal tutor, your own research assistant, basically your own academic superpower. Seriously, imagine having a guide who's available 24/7. That's the power of AI.
So what do we even mean when we say AI in education? First things first, forget the killer robots. Think of it more like a really, really smart assistant. It's technology that can learn, solve problems, and understand language to help you out. It's a tool designed to boost your intelligence, not replace it. Let's start with one of the most common uses, writing. AI can be an incredible partner when you're trying to build a clear, strong argument in an essay. It can help you organize your thoughts, find supporting points, and even polish your grammar and style. Two tools that are absolute must-haves here are Grammarly and Quilldot. Grammarly is like having a little editor sitting on your shoulder, checking not just your grammar, but also the clarity and tone of your writing. Quillbot is a lifesaver for when you're just stuck. You know that feeling?
It can rephrase your sentences to make them flow better, and it can even summarize long, dense documents for you in seconds.
Okay, so if the writing assistants are cool, this next part is where AI starts to feel like a genuine superpower. We're moving from polishing your work to helping you with the heavy lifting of the research itself.
This is where things get really wild. With a tool like ChatPDF, you can upload a dense 30-page academic paper and literally have a conversation with it. You can ask it, hey, what's the main point here? Or explain this paragraph to me like I'm 10. Then you have something like Consensus, which is an AI search engine that doesn't just find papers, it synthesizes the findings from them to answer your questions. It's like having a whole team of research assistants at your beck and call.
And of course, we have to talk about the big one, ChatGPT and other generative AI. Now, the key here is to use it as a partner, not a replacement for your own brain. It's amazing for brainstorming ideas, for asking it to explain a complex topic with a simple analogy, or for helping you draft a solid outline for a paper. Think of it as your starting block, not the finish line.
So, we've just gone through an entire arsenal of incredibly powerful digital tools. But a tool is only as good as the person using it, right? So for our final section, we have to talk about the single most important skill that makes this whole toolkit actually work.
And that skill is information literacy. Honestly, you can think of it as the operating system for your brain in the digital age. It's not just about being able to find information. It's about knowing how to evaluate it, to figure out if it's credible and accurate, and then knowing how to use it effectively and ethically. In a world of endless information, this is everything.
So what does it actually mean to be information literate? It really breaks down into these 5 key things. You can figure out what you need to know, you can find it from different places, you can look at it with a critical eye and judge if it's reliable. You can then use that information to accomplish your goal, and finally, you use it ethically, always giving credit where credit is due by citing your sources.
And this really brings us to the most important takeaway of all. The apps, the AI, the platforms, they are all just tools. They are amazing tools that can help you learn faster and better, but they are absolutely no substitute for your own critical thinking. At the end of the day, the most powerful tool in your entire digital toolkit is your own brain.
So I'll leave you with a question to think about. As artificial intelligence gets more and more powerful, what are the uniquely human skills, like creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration, that will matter most for the learners of tomorrow?